everyone, welcome to another episode of Cosmic Conversations, and I'm with Toni Greene again, cosmic healer, all-around magical woman. How you doing, Toni?
I'm good, Marla. How are you?
Fantastic, because we are going to be talking about something so exciting. I know that so many people are so into this topic. It's the third eye, the pineal gland, and how to open it. Woohoo!
I'm so happy we're talking about this because there are so many ways to go around it and to go about it. And I think we're going to get some really solid information out there for people today.
This is great because you guys, this is my journey right now. I'm trying to open that third eye because I'm a healer. I'm a Reiki master, work with crystals and work with people. And when people come in for a healing session, a lot of times they'll want a message. They're like, what did you get? What did you get while you were working on me? And I really don't get anything. There's been times when I have some empathic stuff, like I felt heartburn and the person had heartburn, or I felt that the person should, I feel that, have you been eating a lot of dairy? And then a woman would say, yeah, I've been eating cheese all day. Once in a while I'll get things like that, and I can connect with my angel and channel her. But generally, like when they're laying on my table and I'm given the healing and they want to, oh, what are you getting? So that's what I want. I want to be able to say, oh yeah, your grandfather's here and he's saying this, or your guide is saying that. So this has been my journey, and I'm just going to tell you what has been happening with me, and then Toni's going to give us some tips on what we can do. So I've been working with a healer called Zarathustra, and he specializes in third eye activation. So he's got an active meditation. I did a video with him. I'll put the link below, but this is his video CD. And I do the active meditation along with it every day. I did a private activation, I did a 4-hour workshop, and then I did an all-day workshop. And each time he did the third eye activation on each of us, plus we did some exercises. Now, the last time I got the activation from him, I went home, went into the bathroom, it was dark, and I saw flashing white light on the side of my right eye, and it's been continuing for the last month and a half. And so, Toni, tell me what that is, tell me what's happening, and what else I can do, and she's going to teach us some things how to open our third eye. All right, take it away.
Perfect. The white light is spirit. It is literally spirit. Now, a lot of people think of Earth as a planet that is here. And heaven is where the spirit world is, and it's way up there. But literally, Earth is a dimension, and heaven is a dimension that kind of sits with our, heaven is a dimension that sits above us. So when I see spirit, I always see him at 3 feet off the ground. That's where that dimension comes in for us, which explains right over here, why we're seeing it right over here, because it's right above us. It's right in that head shot. So knowing that, now you go, oh wait, we're just dimensions that are intermingling. All I have to do is remove the veil or see through the veil, and I'll be able to see that dimension. But here's what happens. There's so much fear with other dimensions. Fear of everything from people will think I'm crazy if I say I'm talking to loved ones and seeing other people and hearing voices, to fear of what if I can't stop it? What if it's something evil? What if, right? There are all these what ifs that people have. And that's what initially, between our parents and our fear, that's what shuts it down initially. Mm-hmm. But we can reopen it. It's something inside of us that we open up and we allow in as much as we want at any given time. Now, if you think your pineal gland has become calcified, Tetra Boron.
Oh.
Tetra Boron is
I've heard of that.
It's a supplement. You get it from a health food store, and you can take Tetra Boron. Don't overdo the dosage. Just, whatever they say, do that. You don't need to decalcify your pineal gland in one day. That would
Right.
not be in your best interest.
I've been trying to decalcify mine with a lot of supplements: apple cider vinegar, Neem, fish oil, krill oil, or some special oil, cacao. They even say maybe banana. There's a whole list of things, and I'll put that below in the box and everything, the supplements too, you guys, in the information box. But what? And then I did change my toothpaste out from fluoride toothpaste, because is fluoride the main? I hear and read that fluoride's the main thing that shut it down.
Yeah, fluoride is just bad on so many different levels.
Yeah.
But I've used fluoride toothpaste all my life.
Right,
and
yours is not open. Yeah, yours is open.
And even when I lived in my haunted house, my house full of earthbound spirits, I was terrified some nights, but I kept seeing them. So that whole fear shuts it down thing, I don't know about that. But
Right.
I also saw like the big blue orbs and the big purple and pink orbs. So I knew I was divinely protected. I knew I was,
Right.
but seeing an earthbound spirit that's not having the best intentions is pretty creepy. I wear this gold chain all the time, and I used to have a gold cross on it, and I would wake up in the morning and the gold cross would be in the middle of my bedroom floor.
Off your chain in the middle of the bedroom floor.
Yes.
But still connected around your neck, the clasp, the chain?
Yep. The chain's still on, the gold the gold
cross
on the middle of the bedroom floor. Now, I try really hard not to believe in evil and the devil and hell, because I talk to them so much. I know what they tell me, and I tend to believe what they tell me. That scared the bejesus out of me, though.
Yeah,
that one was like, okay.
And then do you just not wear that cross anymore, or what? What happened there?
I put Archangel Michael on.
Okay, very good.
But
He's my favorite archangel.
Yeah, I wear Archangel Michael now all the time. And that, I just said, you know what, if somebody wants this cross, they can have it. They need it more than me. I'm taking it off, keeping it off. Now let's talk about activation.
Okay.
Activation is really amazing, and there's a couple different ways we can do this. So if you're working at home and you really want to activate your own third eye, there's where we are energetic beings. The lighter our energy, right? The lighter our energy, the higher our vibration, and the more information can come through to us. So we just take our hands about elbow or shoulder length, neck, whatever, this far apart, and we think universal energy. Now, universal consciousness is that if you're a Christ person, that Christ consciousness or God consciousness or just universal consciousness, and then you slowly rotate, slower. You feel that energy already, right? Yeah. Now, even if you've never done Reiki or any other healing work, don't worry. The energy is going to be there. And if you want to test, pull one hand out, and you should feel something. And now, when you go to push it back, you're going to feel a little pressure there. A little, like a sponge. A sponge. Now, you take one of those hands, and you keep the other hand. You can put one hand toward your heart and one hand toward your forehead, your third eye. Not on it, but close to it. And then you just rotate that. Now, you should feel energy moving.
Clockwise or counterclockwise? Does it matter?
Does not matter.
Okay.
Now, usually you're going to do this lying down with your eyes closed.
Okay.
And you can pull your hand out a little bit and then bring it back in. And you should really, even if you don't feel the energy at first, don't worry, continue to do this. And with your eyes closed, you're really going to start to see some things. Maybe not the first day, maybe not the second day. And then bring that hand up and do, this is your God channel, I call it.
My crown is very open. I feel a lot of activity at my crown, a lot.
So the crown to here, to here, to here. And you just keep working those. Now you can even do it this way. This works too. And the other thing you can do is once you have that energy in your hands and you've been working in that energy, just tap. Just tap. Do you ever see businessmen when they're sitting there rubbing their forehead?
Yeah.
Unconsciously, they're playing with their third eye.
A question with the white light that I'm seeing, I can only see it if it's dark. And then I
Right?
thought because the third eye is luminescent, that's what Zarathustra had told me, that it's light activated, that maybe that's the light coming from my third eye instead of a
Here's when I'm in bed at night and I send out healings to people. At night, I send out healings to if I've had clients that are really struggling, or I'll just say if there's anybody being abused, if there's anyone praying for help, let's send these healings to them.
Nice.
And that luminescent light, if you relax, if you slow down your breathing very, very slow and very peaceful, you'll notice the form that luminescent light takes.
Okay.
And you can even communicate with it. Now, in my personal experience, because I have all different white lights or masses in my room that come in, and there's some that are purple and some that are pink. So as I'm sending out energy, as I'm playing with it at night and I'm sending out energy, it'll come down around my hands. I won't even be able to see my hands.
Wow.
It's flipping cool.
So cool.
It is. And the more you play in this energy and the more you see it, the more you understand it. I'll see wings. I'll see it all collide as one and then come back apart again. So I'm not going to say what he's saying. It's just I believe both can be true. Let's just say both can be true. And the next time when you're seeing it, slow down that breathing and say, "Show me, show me, show me."
Because it flashes real fast. Flash like that. Flash.
Slow down your breathing. Okay. It's because as soon as you see it, you get really excited, right? Yeah. And then you stop. Next time when you see it, and you're going to start to see a lot more of it. Have you seen the little silver stars or the little blips of silver yet?
No.
Oh, you will. You will. Wait, you're in the beginning. You're going to start to see the colored orbs and some of the silver blips of light out of the corner of your eye. But the next time you see it, slow down your breathing and say, "Come back. Let me see you again."
Right.
I used to have this blue orb in that house I was talking about before. It was this blue orb. And prior to this, I'd never seen orbs. I didn't know what an orb was even. And one night, the first time I asked, "Why are you here?" I felt and heard love. Oh. And it just brought tears to my eyes. It was the most purest feeling ever. So then one night when I'm feeling really confident, I'm lying in bed, I go, "Okay, show yourself to me." And it started to unfold or become, it was going below my floor and above my ceiling, and I covered my head, even though I knew it was not bad. It was so magnificent. But I still had this fear and covered my head and said, and then when I uncovered it was back down to the orb. I'm like, "No, wait, okay, I'm ready." Right. I haven't got to do it again. But ask them, "Why are you here? What are you helping me with?" They've always been with you. Now you're just going to be able to see them a little bit more easily. Now, everybody is born with the ability to be intuitive, to see, to hear, and to feel spirit outside of us and our own guide inside of us. It's how far did it shut down, but more importantly, why did it shut down? Now, if we overcome the why, it opens right back up. It opens right back up.
And how do we uncover that?
We do meditation. Some people realize like that when they were younger, they would talk about seeing relatives and their parents would say, "No, that's not possible," and would get concerned. Usually around the age of 5 when children are starting to go to school, parents shut that down really quickly. They don't want people to think their children are crazy or don't want them to go to school and get picked on for talking about grandma and grandpa who are now on the other side. But I will say that most of the time it closes because of fear. We see something that is fearful.
Oh, I just had a memory, the fearful memory. So when I was I couldn't have been more than 4 because we moved from this house when I was 4. So I was probably 2 or 3. And I remember laying on top of my bed. It must have been kind of hot because I was on top of the bed. It was pitch dark in my room, sleeping. I opened my eyes, and in front of my bed was a totally black figure that was the figure of a human. But all I could see was if you drew one all in black, so no eyes or I couldn't see any features. And like a shadow figure. And it stood in front of me, and it put its hands like this and started doing deep knee bends. Down, up, down, up. I was so...
It's doing Irish dancing.
Irish dancing. I don't know. It was just down, up, down, up. I was so scared. I just was in shock staring at it. And then I closed my eyes, opened them up, and it was gone. So maybe that was when mine closed down. Maybe I saw something.
It's very, very possible. That makes sense, and that an incident like that is usually what shuts it down for children. Fear will shut it down so quickly. So when you overcome that fear, you have to. When you have no fear of what you're going to see, you can see everything.
Right. Well, and then as a kid, I remember, my mom tells me this, that I used to have an imaginary rabbit, and I would tell my uncle, "Stay, you're going to step on my rabbit," and I had this imaginary rabbit, and maybe I was seeing a little bunny. And
you probably were.
Because a lot of kids have imaginary friends, so.
And they're not, when, growing up, I grew up in a house that was haunted. One of the houses we lived in, my mom said, "Oh, this house is haunted." And we truly, I could tell you some stories where you'd be like, "Yeah, it is. Yeah, that house is haunted." But after we moved out, then my sister moved back in, and my 5-year-old niece was with her at the time, and she'd be playing in her room talking and talking and talking, and she would call my sister in and say, "Mom, tell these kids to go away. They're not being nice." And I knew. I mean, come on. When we're that young, we do see it. We absolutely do. And then my niece's toys would go off in the middle of the night. My sister and I throwing 1 or 2 off the back porch because she couldn't get them to turn off no matter what.
Okay, so some other ways to activate. I know crystals can help. Labradorite. Absolutely. Look at this beautiful piece of labradorite. That's beautiful. That helps with the higher chakras. Shadakite, which is really cool. It's I think it has a lot of iron in it. Look at how beautiful that is. And I know amethyst, wearing some amethyst. I've got an amethyst bracelet here. I'm going to wear that. And then there's something called moldavite, which is really cool. I bought this necklace at the Conscious Life Expo. And moldavite is an extraterrestrial stone that came from a meteorite 15 million years ago and crashed in the Czech Republic. I also have this celestial, which is supposedly downloading things from the angelic realm. So it's pretty cool to have all these crystals around. But and I've got a Super 7, which is really cool, Melody Stone. But even with all these crystals, it hasn't opened. So I'm going to take your advice and do the energetic opening. Crazy. So give us some other tips to open our third eye.
Okay, so one of the things that works really well is doing a hypnosis session. I do hypnosis sessions with people where I bypass their conscious mind and we go straight with their subconscious, and I take them directly to their guides. I take them directly to that the other side or the plane where they get to visit with their loved ones. And once they come back from that, they keep that because it's a safe and faith-filled journey, if you will, that allows them to see everything, and then they come back and they continue on that way. Absolutely.
And that helps the third eye to open up.
Oh yeah. Once you go, I think just once you go and you see other dimensions or planes,
Hmm.
you're open then. You're open.
Okay,
And
okay.
whatever your subconscious mind, why ever your subconscious mind was blocking it, now it's unblocked. And you're moving forward with it.
And interesting because I astral travel, and so I think that's a sign of that, right? I noticed
Yeah.
some of that.
I love astro traveling. I'm kind of a badass in my astro travels. Are you?
Um, it's sometimes I've gone out a little far, like once or twice, but usually I just find myself in my house. Last night I had an experience. In my book, The Buddha Made Me Do It, I talk about an experience where I felt something come through my crown chakra when I was in bed. It was so strong that it paralyzed me. My mouth opened. I was like paralyzed, and it scared me so much that I just, in my mind, screamed for Archangel Michael, for Jesus, please come. And I said, get out, and it left. And then it came back, and I went to my teacher and healer, and she said that I had 10 lower vibrational entities attached to me, and that was the main one coming in. And I had been going to a lot of workshops, been around a lot of people, gone on talking boards here and there, and all this stuff. So somewhere I picked up some hitchhiker, right? And it was finally she removed him, it was gone. And then I felt last night, I felt something come in again, came in to me, and I started screaming in my head, Jesus, Archangel Michael, and get out, get out. And I saw myself get up and come into my office and grab a crucifix and run back out, and the lights wouldn't work in my office. I was doing all this trying to protect myself, and then when I woke up I realized that didn't happen. It must have been on the astral plane because I felt it. I felt it. It wasn't like a dream where you don't really feel something like that in your dream, and I was doing. So I think I astral traveled, and this entity was there, and I was doing all this stuff in the astral plane.
Now here's
Does
an
that
interesting.
sound about right?
It does. Now here's an interesting concept. Whenever I astro traveled in the past, I would end up on another plane,
Uh-huh.
and I would see me doing something really badass. Like one time I was running from Yetis, big, huge white Yetis.
Wow.
Another time I was a spy tied in a chair.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't giving up any information either. So somebody, I heard once that there's like a theory that there are 10 of us out there and we're living these lives
I
at the
just heard
same.
that too. I heard that on a radio show. Somebody was talking about that, about how we are. I think it was maybe Danny and Brinkley or somebody. We are on other dimensions, living lives
Right.
simultaneously.
And
Yes.
Anita Morjani, in her book Dying to Be Me, says when she was in that coma state where they were like pretty much pronouncing her, you know,
Yeah.
she was out traveling around, and she said it's not past lives or future lives. They're all happening simultaneously on different planes.
Yes. But isn't it
Because
weird we only know about this one? I mean, we're not how this is what boggles the mind because
right.
I
But the reason we only know about this one is because in the past, when people on this plane have come forward with information saying this is what's possible, people would say, you're crazy, you're a witch, you're this. It was shut down. And now that we have internet and more people are putting it out there.
Yes, isn't that
And,
exciting? On YouTube, there's tons of people
yeah,
talking about this. I love it.
oh, and it's safer to talk about it too. It's safer to be
Yes.
psychic. It's
Yes.
safe. You're not considered a witch that might get stoned or burned.
Right.
It's safer to talk about astral traveling or different planes or even near-death accidents. Up until recently, when people would come out of a near-death and they would explain it, the doctors would go, "Oh no, that didn't happen. It was just the lights. It was just this," and they would like scientifically explain it away. Now we're realizing all of that is open and possible. One thing, when you're with someone else, whether you're doing a healing on them, start with your partner. Just start with your partner. Be in their energy and feel. Because the third eye and psychic ability is about understanding that person's energy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're doing a healing on someone, feel their energy.
Yeah.
Listen to what their energy is intuitively saying to you.
Mm-hmm.
And just like in the past when you've had hits of indigestion or dairy, you'll start to get other hits now.
Yeah.
And that will make it.
I got a hit the other day. I was FaceTiming with a gal, because I'm a matchmaker, you guys, as you know, and I was interviewing this gal who was in New York, and she's telling me about her interests and this and that, and all of a sudden I just saw horses with her. I said, "What's with the horses?" She says, "Oh, yes, I love horses. I ride horses when I can." I got that hit about horses, so that was like a little, I was like, ooh, that was kind of cool, you know.
It's going to start coming more and more. And then here's the other thing. We have to trust it. I'm going to tell you, we all have it. Yeah. We just have to let it open like a flower. Right now it's sitting like a bud. We have to let it open like a flower and trust it. Know that it's safe. And when you do get those hits, go, okay, give me more, give me more. I'm ready for more. I'm ready for more. There are some people that say they see spirits everywhere. Mm-hmm. Like every room is full of spirits.
Right.
I don't know why it's different for me. Until I focus in on it, mm-hmm. It doesn't I don't see it. If I'm talking to you and I start focusing in on your loved ones, mm-hmm. I'm going to start to see your loved ones. Mm-hmm. But if I don't, I'm not going to see that. Once in a while, if I've been talking to somebody and loved ones are trying to get the message, usually it's when I'm in bed. They'll come into my room and there'll be a ton of loved ones there that will be trying to get those messages to me, and I'll call that person and say, okay, I want to go to sleep, so I have to tell you these messages from this person. Now, I will tell you, I'm not a big Jesus person. I wasn't brought up with religion. I wasn't brought up in Lutheran or Catholicism. I didn't really know a lot about Jesus, mm-hmm. But for some reason, every single night, Jesus is in my room.
Oh, nice.
And I've done regressions where I'm healing things, and Jesus is the one with me, and I've gone back to the time of the cross. I've gone back to the caves. I don't even know, like somebody tried to explain what the caves were afterwards because I had no idea what the cave that Jesus was in was. And I'm like, oh yeah, that fits for that. That's exactly what I was seeing. Yeah. So for some reason, Saint Michael or Archangel Michael and Jesus are always with me. Mm-hmm. Always.
Those are the two that I always call on too. That this same thing. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. And here's the thing. They're omnipresent. Mm-hmm. We're not being selfish by having them there. Yeah. And they can be with anyone and everyone.
Everyone at the same time. Exactly.
Yeah. So if you want to start getting messages from Jesus, just ask. Mm-hmm. He's so accommodating, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah. This woman I know, Tina Louise Spalding, she channels Jesus, and she channeled many books, and one of them is Jesus, my autobiography. It's fantastic. She's amazing. I've done some videos with her, and she channels him. A lot of people do, and I've had some messages from him. And when I do my healing, since he was the master healer and energy healer, I always ask him, please come through, please work through me, please give me some extra energy. And I love that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
All right.
And anybody can, yes.
Anybody can do it. So, you guys, Toni's links are below if you want to do a hypnosis session with her or get a reading. Her info's below. I've listed the crystals that you can use and the supplement that Toni suggested. And let us know about your third eye experiences. Is it open, closed? Do you want to open it? We love to hear everything. If you have any questions, ask us and we can do another video answering the questions. All right.
Absolutely.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Marla.
Bye, Toni.
Thank you, everybody. Have an absolutely phenomenal and amazing existence.